up and I feel like cash. Wake up and I feel like M's. My foot stays pressed on the gas. I'm glad I don't feel like them. They might just get flexed on. Got that spice like Szechuan. Can't be touched, I'm Teflon. Once I met Zac Efron. Go hard for the bros and the bros hot mine. Don't think for a sec that I won't drop on. Wanna stay for the show? Just log on to RoneDotCom. Get knocked off and we still rock on. Come to the pound, see a real top dog. Wanna stay for the show? Then just log on to RoneDotCom.
No way, my brothers. No way, my brothers. Upvote the stream, please. Please, God, upvote the stream. For the love of everything that is holy, upvote the stream. Upvote the stream. Do your civic duty. Do your part in all of this. Upvote the stream. We are about to have a whole ass RoneDotCom this morning. It's fall. It's raining. It's gross out. It doesn't matter. Okay. It does not matter at all. Just putting up a little Instagram story. Just a girl, no doubt. It's got to be the song. Fuck yeah. Woo! RoneDotCom. Another day, another dollar. I'm soaked to my fucking penis. I am once again soaked to my penis. But I will bike through this rain. I will bike through this rain is the least I could do. Yeah, hell yes. Throw that hitchhiking finger up. You know what I mean? Send Caleb a Zoom link. Drake May's a god. Yeah, you know what I mean? Get your fucking thoughts off. Get your thoughts off. This is a safe place for a chat, okay? This is a symbiotic relationship. I give, you give. Together, we make a jambalaya. Together, we make a symbiotica. Love a rainy day. Not me, but I'm in here anyway. I love a rainy night. That's what I fucking love. Love a rainy night. And I love Phoenix. Shout to Phoenix, the first drink that combines everything that I need in one can. Fire off some Phoenixes if you got them with you. You know what I mean? Fire off. Yeah, best chat at Barstool for sure. Good positive vibes. Good ass chat at Barstool. Hell yes. Phoenix, fantastic stuff. First drink that combines everything that we need. This is not your typical energy drink. Can I repeat? This is not your typical energy drink. This is high-level stuff. Natural energy from green tea instead of that artificial caffeine garbage. Zero sugar, 100% daily value of 8 essential vitamins for immunity. There's literally nothing else on the market that delivers this complete functionality if you're crushing morning workouts, fighting through the brutal 3 p.m. crash. If your kids wake up every 2 hours, if they're waking up every 2 hours, and life is being drained from you through the back of your head like a damn avatar, like you are plugged into the Matrix. Plug into a Phoenix Energy. Phoenix has you covered. No jitters, no crash, just the same performance. Use promo code BARSTOOL for $5 off your order at drinkphx.com. You know I'm drinking mine. Nothing has been more humbling than watching myself drink on camera over the years. I hold my drinks with like my fingertips, and I just look like a alien pretending to be human. Like it just doesn't look right. And so I try to grip them like this, and then I feel like I'm like holding a penis, and it's not mine, so it feels like a different penis. Which, you know, yes, of course we're taking Eagles -7. Eagles -7. The RoneDotCom pick of the day. What a great show we have coming up for you. Tomorrow is my son's 6-month birthday. So that means in 2 days, I'll be closer to them being 1 year old than I will to them being born, which is truly insane and humbling of an experience. Time is going quickly. Thus, we must make the most of it. That is what we have to do. So because of that, we have 2 magnificent guests coming on to the show, 2 fathers in their own right. And I won't necessarily be looking at them for fatherly advice, but I want to catch some of the aura. I want to glean a little bit of the sunshine off of these 2 gentlemen on a rainy day. So we have Large coming in. When Nate came in and said he gave 10 people he liked the cut of their jib, which was his cop-out of power rankings, Large hit me up and he said, I'd like to do one of these. I said, I hadn't even thought of it as a serialized list, but grab your bowl, grab some milk because we're making cereal. This is another 10 people that Large likes the cut of their gym. He will be in at 9:30 to do that. Bang. At 10:30, we will have Whit to come in. Whit will be coming on the line. I was going to ask him his top 10 favorite athletes, his top 10 funniest dudes he knows from hockey, but we'll kind of really just chop it up. I kind of really just want to bend his ear. You know what I mean? Get in his craw and ask the hard-hitting questions that everybody wants to know. For example, is it fair that Dave has a $30 million house and that we fucking don't? Glaze, they're saying Glaze. Whit is the man, 100%. And then at the 10 o'clock hour, we will be doing a reverse bucket pull to figure out the Halloween costume situation. A reverse bucket pull to figure out the Halloween costume situation. Halloween costume situation? I didn't even know that we were having a Halloween costume situation. We are having a Halloween costume situation because that is part of a bigger idea that I'm that I am doing, that we are going to do, all of us here, all of you folk in the chat, and all of us folk over here at Barstool. And we're going to go 12-hour stream, October 30th, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on RoneDotCom. We're going to empty the clip October 30th, Mischief Day, All Souls Day Eve, All Hallows Eve. Full day stream from within the Barstool office. We're not going to be going around, but we have cameras dotting this office. They're fucking everywhere. They're everywhere. You look around, there's cameras everywhere. And throughout the entire office, we're set up with this. And so I've been having these meetings. I've been having meetings with the social team, with the tech team, with people who have done similar streams. We're going to make a very interactive 12-hour stream where we're going to be doing different shit around the office. And that will be on Halloween Eve. Ron do the Peruvian split squat. I don't know what that is. It sounds like you're going to have me outside with my asshole open, and that's not what it's going to be like. So yeah, full day. So 12 hours of unbridled content. Full day stream of the New York office. I can't wait to see all 6 people. Well, then maybe this will be the test. Maybe this will truly be the test to see if there is untapped potential if we all put our minds together to do something. And I would love to know what you guys think in this stream or in the chat of what we should do in the stream, because obviously I want to do some son of a boy dad stuff. Obviously I'm trying to have some Sass versus Francis content. We kicked around doing some, maybe, you know, there's always room for music stuff. There's some gamifying stuff. Like we talked about Vibs having his goddamn beer game show. Maybe we do one of those live in the office throughout the day. It's happening, you know, around us. Someone told me that Kelly Keegs can pick a pigeon out of a lineup. So we have a pigeon guy coming in from Coney Island. He will bring in a pigeon. They will start at Coney Island. The pigeons will fly into the office. She will pick a pigeon out of a lineup. Is that good content? I don't know. I don't know if that's good content, but if you're streaming for 12 hours a day, you know what I mean? If a chopped cheese off, yes, some of that stuff. Like maybe they're making a big chili cook-off. You know, what else were you saying in the chat? Get the rights for Monster Mash. It was a graveyard smash. Stuff like that. Hot dog eating contest with Sass and Francis. Yeah, I was talking to Devlin about some, you know, food around the world, walking into a massive room with like a map that's the size of a conference room table and like certain foods from around the world, like soups or dumplings from around the world or something like that. That's fun stuff. Pranking Tommy, yeah, that sounds good, you know. Since Yak doesn't really do case races anymore, we could do a New York tank case race. Rest assured, there will be hours of that 12-hour stream where I will begin to booze. I will not be imbibing the entire time, for that is not the ethos of the Halloween Eve Mischief Day full day stream. But there will get to a point where I am soaking my tongue in red wine, where where I'm getting a purple ring around my mouth like a juice-mouthed toddler who's wandering off of a jungle gym. Eat omakase off largest body. See, that's some freaky shit, Joey Langone, that only you could think up. That is classic Joey Langone shit, that he is going to be trying to get me to accidentally slip a coworker's penis into my mouth. And Joey, I don't appreciate that, okay? It's not going to happen. Hide and seek? Maybe, but how do you film it? And especially if there's cameras. But I've been in the control room day after day trying to figure this out. The hardest thing will be audio because we have all the live camera feeds and live cutting it. And figuring it out on a day where, like, if it's Wednesday, we don't know if, the college football show or what day they're going to be doing the unnamed show because they have to live cut that from here. And Fishbowl and the midday gambling show comes out of here, Pick Central. So we're going to have to be out of this room for those things. Do people care about the technical aspects? Probably not. We just want this to be a fucking fun-ass day, And I was talking to Mook after he came on last week's stream, and he was like, we should do like a joint subathon. So I pitched that Mook takes 12 hours either before or after that. And I don't even want it necessarily to be a subathon. Like, my goal isn't to get people to subscribe because I'm asking them to. I'm not trying to, like, trick you into, like, please, like, fucking subscribe. Like, that's not what I want. I want people to be interested in the content that we make. I want to have an avalanche of content throughout one day that will keep people entertained throughout the entire day. And if you so feel inclined to subscribe to this channel, and we're so happy to have you. But I'm not, like, I want people to subscribe because it helps the channel, but I do not want to beg people for a hollow subscription. I want to earn that shit. You know what I mean? I want to earn that. And I think that that's possible. I think that that's realistic. 24-hour stream, 24-hour subathon, 24-hour, all that shit. Sass versus Francis cocktail making. Like, yeah, I think that could be interesting. I think we could get Sass drinking again. I think he's right there, dude. I think that it's just like the wind blows the right way. Like the feathers of a dandelion. I think that we can make that shit happen. I think it's very realistic. Sass versus Francis lovemaking. So I would watch that. Yeah, it helps. So hopefully you guys are upvoting the stream. Hopefully you guys are... Oh, who said justice for Charlie? Fuck yeah. Rooster said justice for Charlie? Justice for Charlie is my bro Real Deal's father was unfortunately, he died of medical malpractice in the Pittsburgh hospital system, and that's his rallying cry, justice for Charlie. I didn't even know that there was justice for Charlie heads in here, bro. Go support the Justice for Charlie movement. Go support Real Deal's movement. Go buy a Justice for Charlie t-shirt. You know what I mean? Shout out to Real Deal. That's fucking dope. And thank you guys for liking the stream. It helps so damn much. So damn much. Read political quotes from the 90s to Gia and KFC to see if to guess if it came from lib or not. Interesting. So what's the thought of that? What does political quotes from the 90s mean? Are we saying that the pendulum has swung? Jesus Christ, my girlfriend's mom just died Sunday for hernia surgery malpractice. I'm sorry, bro. That's so sad to hear. That sucks ass. Very sad. Yeah, I don't know what the political quote thing is. This is not a politics-heavy show, but I guarantee that if you turn on your cable news or any other streaming show, I bet that there's places you can go to find some stimulating politics talk that scratches your itch for that side of the agenda. Something with Fran. I miss her in the mix. Same, dude. Same. I would... So, okay. I'm going to start a grander conversation and dial back in on that point. I am putting out a Clemmer versus Meek Warm Ones tomorrow. Should we watch the... let's watch the promo clip of it. Warm Ones, a show where we drink 6 warm alcoholic beverages and just chop it up. Where I ask stimulating conversation starting questions of my coworkers, and I had 2 of our most brilliant baseball minds in because it is baseball postseason, Meek Phil and Clemmer. Let's watch this.
I want to get the big one out the way first.
They're all the same size.
Are you sure?
You're saying just because
No,
the glass
like, this
is
is-
taller?
Yeah.
We poured cans into them. Do you guys think that all baseball fans are on the spectrum?
I think a high percentage are. No, I don't. I think of the 4 major sports, baseball has the most fans on the spectrum.
I would agree with that. I'm married. I'm not going to go on a date with this person. He's saying the hypothetical. You're wildly successful compared to me. You're wildly successful. Like, why would you care about
He doesn't have rat race.
Yeah,
Don't be a fucking piece of shit. Fuck.
No, don't take his mic. Don't take his
You guys are
He
your mic
doesn't-
present.
I gotta pee. I don't care.
Good for you. Attaboy. Good. I like that. Take charge.
I'm taking
Attaboy.
charge. I am
I like
peeing.
that. Yeah, you go, Meek.
I heard you were making $250,000 a year.
It was like an adult film company you were doing sales for, right?
Nope. Who do you hate at this office?
Jesus.
Chase Utley side with ISIS.
Bill Belichick. Fuck you. I feel like he can drink better than I can. I thought he could.
I can't because I'm about to puke.
Oh, are you serious?
This Jason Worth conversation has you fully franking out, and I'm liking it.
What happened to the bear?
I got rid of it. I got tired of it.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fucking awesome. That was a blast, just like kicking back with those two bros on a Friday and knocking some alcohol back. We went for 2 hours. We cut that down. We cut that down substantially. At some points, it was the ramblings of madmen, and by madmen, I'm talking specifically about Chris Clemmer. Meekville was checking out at some points because Clemmer was going off the deep end, and I was feeding into it, and then he was feeding into me having some ramblings. And when Whit comes on later on, we actually need to talk about the ramblings of a madman. Oh, I have a new Zoom link to send to Whit. Sorry, hang on, because at Surviving Barstool, actually use this one. At Surviving Barstool, we had some incredible Clemmer moments, but we unleashed Clemmer, and Clemmer was asking probing questions. Need the uncut version? You do not. You do not. And that's not me trying to protect myself. That's me trying to protect you. That's me trying to protect the sanctity of this channel, for we will lose you. You will bleed out subscriber-wise. All the hard work that we've done to be like, hey, upvote the stream, upvote the video even. Upvote the video. Whit may do more shows at Barstool than anybody else. Yes, that type of shit. And so we were having conversations about, obviously Clemmer's like, well, yeah. He's like, what would you do to fix the New York office and stuff like that? He was buzzing. Clemmer looks like he was buzzing. And the conversation that I wanted to have was how interesting it would be, and I'm not trying to put like more work on these people's plate, but how interesting it would be if people who have really successful shows found their version of the yak and macro dosing. And so by that, I mean how Big Cat and PFT made Part of My Take so successful that like everybody who's around Part of My Take on the charts does not do anything else. Almost all of these podcasters who have similar chart position, they don't do other work, basically. That's like their full-time job, to be podcasters and to do this one singular podcast. And so these two dudes and other people at Barstool, but they're the shining examples because Part of My Take by a factor of like 10 is like the biggest podcast going over here. They have found it in their heart to do other passion projects and other shows that have wound up being massively successful, not just for them, but for other people and for Barstool in general, and are good for the camaraderie of Barstool. That's 4 fours, 16 reasons why this could work. And macro dosing is an incredible show. The Yak is a juggernaut of a show. So I wonder, like, what they said we'd like to see Fran more in the office. Like, if Rhea and Fran like did like what their other show could or would be. I'm not like obviously. Chicks in the Office is fucking one of the top 2 or 3 podcasts at Barstool, full stop. They don't need to do anything else. And I'm sure their concern is that if they did something else, that it could take away from their input to Chicks in the Office or their input to the things that they care about. And it's, 3 times a week, multiple tours that they do, lots of different they're in fucking Singapore right now. But I think that there have been other shows where, these women are so talented and have such a high ceiling that they could carry other people along with them, what something would look like for them. And similarly, like Foreplay, I talked about, I think that Foreplay, like Riggs, has shown his ability to turn Foreplay into like an 8-figure brand. I don't think I'm speaking out of class when I say that show is deep into 8 figures as far as the money changing hands surrounding that show. Like, that's a fucking juggernaut of a show. What would it look like if Riggs used his, business acumen as a content creator to make something that was also under the Barstool umbrella? And maybe he doesn't want to do that. Maybe he thinks that it would dilute what he's doing over at Foreplay. But as selfishly as somebody else who works at Barstool, I'd love to see him, flex his, because there's, I think that the commenters are like, fucking Riggs is this or that, but like, it's undeniable what Foreplay has turned into, especially you could check the internet numbers, but if I'm over here giving back-end numbers, talking about 8 figures, like, that's an undeniable number. And if there's like, maybe Riggs isn't everybody's like cup of tea or the most popular guy to everybody, that's undeniable. If he can create a brand that is bringing in that much, why not let him try to create other brands, I mean, golf people throw money. Maybe. Have Rhea go on Fishbowl one day, Fran the other. Maybe, but like, is that shots so fired at Rhea and Fran? Not at all. Rhea and Fran, I get along great with Rhea and Fran. I know that they are talented, and I think that there's other ways that you can show how talented that you are. Get sass on Chicks in the Office, 100%. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. RoneDotCom. That's nice. I personally consume too much Barstool content where I don't appreciate it as much. Like KB's well-crafted quips just go over my head these days, and I don't even second-guess it. Shout out to Mike White. That is nice of you to be honest. You have to expand outside of the Barstool audience to grow. What does that mean? Like, I should collaborate with, like, big streamers or something like that to try and grow? See, I'm trying to do that. You know what I mean? If Barstool stops you from being in a time slot because other people are there, that's crazy. We will watch what we want. Facts. So that's another thing. So the other thing is I am getting this. I unilaterally ordered this streaming backpack. I had a call with a British man who we're getting 6 months of data through it, and we were going to do the streaming. And they said it's shipped. It's not over there, is it? That one package, that one tall, slim package can't be a backpack. That is far too narrow and tall to be a backpack. But that shit is here, and there's like a chance that we start this shit next week, There's a chance that we start streaming in New York next week, that we are going out and about in New York next week, walking around New York next week. And man, would that be fantastic. I see Ian in there nodding his head, fucking fired up. He wants to get out of the office. He wants to be moving around. And there's a chance that we do it next week. And so I don't know if this is the best way to do this. I would love some feedback from the chat right in here. So I have a list of 125 New York neighborhoods, from Whitestone in Queens to Borough Park in Brooklyn to Hudson Yards in Manhattan to University Heights in the Bronx to Eltingville, Staten Island. Do people want me to put them on a wheel, land on a place, and just go there? And just see what the fuck is up? Like, is that the wave that we go on a fucking wheel, 125 neighborhoods, and then within 2.5 years, we will have seen all the neighborhoods in New York if we kind of keep to a pretty steady schedule? Or should I be trying to, they say, okay, so then they're saying no wheel, just let us vote. Whitestone W, Iran IRL stream would be unbelievable. I mean, I cannot wait to go to Iran. Iran is the oldest country. I think that Iran existed 5200 BC, I'm pretty sure. Possible to get YP on the show? I did ask him a little bit ago. I don't think he could. The wheel is just. Straw poll, how would that work? Wheel, shout out to the chat. You know, like if you guys were to vote, like let's do a practice vote. Like throw places in the chat right now to see if how a vote would work. Like, are you guys just going to say a bunch of places, then I put them in a poll, and then we go? Or is it going to be completely chat dictated? Or is the wheel truly the most just way? Barstool reunion show, bring back old employees for a check-in. Maybe that could be interesting. But also, some people have had an ignominious end to an illustrious career, if you know what I mean. Some people have been ushered out of here, never to come back. Some people are the reason that we have security. Wheeling, West Virginia, Providence, Rhode Island, Nicaragua, Duxbury. Okay, we're gonna do a wheel because that wasn't productive at all. Mesopotamia, Mongolia. Everybody's a freaking jokester out here. Run the horses. What about Louisiana outdoor stream with the Barstool outdoors girl? Sydney. She has a name. All right, show some damn respect. What about a Louisiana outdoor stream? Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, there'll be times when we're going to have to travel for this show, and say we're in San Francisco where the Super Bowl is. I would then pick a neighborhood in San Francisco and walk around there and do a morning stream there. Let's get to business and do the wheel. Yeah, let's get to business and do the wheel. All right. Wait, so, I mean, it's going to take a lot of data input to put all these all these neighborhoods in there, but I will send them in the chat, and we could try to find out what do we have a wheel technician back there? I mean, Tyler, or I know that you're working on too many things. Could you put names on a wheel? All right, I'm going to send these. I'm going to send every neighborhood, and I kind of whittled it down. Like, some neighborhoods in New York are not conducive to this. Like, for example, if we did like Williamsburg, it's like Williamsburg is too big to do in a 2-hour stream. We could do East Williamsburg, but then we'd have to break it up. I think we have to take that on case-by-case basis. Meanwhile, if we did Throgs Neck, if we went to Throgs Neck up in the Bronx, Throgs Neck is probably, that's about an hour, maybe less than an hour. Fucking bug on my stream. Like the Channel 5 guy. Is Rone on the first class list? Rone, you should do Vice like docs of shit you find interesting. That sounds fun. I mean, I kind of used to do stuff like that. That is fun. That is a big undertaking. But I'm not closing the door on being able to do stuff like that. Harlem 125th. So, yeah, like Harlem is like a big area. Well, but obviously we wouldn't say Harlem. Maybe we say Spanish Harlem or like Upper West Side, but we could also break it down to like 300 plus neighborhoods, but that I think would be too small. For example, if I'm walking around Vinegar Hill, that's like 5 blocks. I need Caleb on RoneDotCom. Caleb will be in New York this weekend for Coulda Been Fest. And I would have loved to pull up on my brother, but I'm going to be in Louisiana this weekend doing a live stream with the Barstool Outdoors girl. Just kidding. We have a pop punk show in Louisiana. If you are at Louisiana, if you are at Fred's, maybe slide on through there. Son of a Boy Dad on DMT Live. Love that. Epcot around the world. Love that. Okay, Owen just sent us in. Yeah, like Owen sent us in this map, and this is just Manhattan. Like, I want to be in the Bronx. Like, I'm not scared. Iran live stream, you always a trip. I got you, brother. I will go to Iran before my content career is done. I saw an egregious comment the other day, and that's what I get for fucking seeing a comment. That's on me for seeing something. Someone was like, man, I don't know if Ron will just fucking retire or something like that, bro. Bro, do people realize that I've been doing on internet content for as long as anybody in Barstool that's not named Dave? Let's really do, like, me on camera content has been happening since 2008, I believe. 2008. Mooby and Smelly were 4, I believe, when I started doing on internet content. The fuck are people talking about? I've been outside, and I will continue to be outside until they fucking drag me from this earth, whichever direction. And I'm really trying to think who's been doing. Maybe there's people like Large or KFC who are writing, but like, were they writing in 2008? I was on camera in 2008 putting out content on like YouTube, rap stuff, like man on the street stuff. Brother, I was so outside. And I don't even know if when was Dave's first video that he made? Does anyone in the chat know this? When was Dave's first video? Big Cat was in the Aristocats in 2002, but that was on stage. That wasn't live content. You and Biz and Dom doing peeking. That would be fucking fire. Yeah, like when, dude, it might be longer than everybody. It might be fucking longer than everybody. I don't know when Dave's first videos were. I know that he was making newspaper content. Barstool started 20 years ago, but was he doing video content then? 2007 it says. Okay, 2007. So I'm right there, bro. I'm fucking right there. Dave started making content, I started making content. It took 10 years for the helixes to fucking cross. I've been outside. You will not stop me from being outside. And I would love to know who even puts themselves in the conversation of anybody at Barstool. I'm 37 years old. I've been doing this shit since before I was 21. The fuck are we talking about, dude? Newspaper 2003, of course, but like doing video, like who else is even old enough to be in the conversation? I don't think Big Cat was making online content like that. I remember when he started making online video content. You old, Unc. Facts, bro. You see my grays, bro? The fuck do you mean? I've been outside. I jumped off the porch. And that's why I never run for my age. It's all documented. It's all been online. I've been online. Since my ball hair was different. Feeling like a 10X Wednesday, dude. It really is, bro. Throw the fucking X's up. Jerry Thornton he was in black and white. Jerry Thornton was in sepia tone. Jerry Thornton was like, we're now live on the scene. The rebels have just landed. The beaches of Normandy are being stormed. Fucking Jerry Thornton was outside for sure. 10X of life experience. What color is your hair now? Bro, this shit is fucking brown still. I mean, it's fucking, it's brown. Sometimes it looks gray, but I think it's like some days it looks a little bit grayer. Very educated and smart to plan a full URL tour of various cities. Yes. I just like that. I like that content. Pat Bev maybe has been doing content for that long. Honestly, he might be the only person. He did a hoops mixtape thing when he was in high school. But like then he kind of took a break, dude. I have not taken a break from doing content. Do I plan to do a collab with After Dark stream? That has not been talked about. Need Pat Bev to do a backpack stream. Facts. Is it true what they say? If there's rust on the roof, there's water in the basement? No. The basement is double sealed from the inside and the outside, but that is hilarious. Got that from Large talking about St. Anne. Wait, so is Large coming in here, or is he doing it remotely? Because I know we talked about live is always better, he said. Okay, so Large will be in here. Basement gets flooded. Oh my God. Does that mean that he has a leaky butt? Or a leaky penis? Is he peeing himself? Or or is his butt leaking? Rone could probably end racism with the amount of connections he has with so many groups. Yeah, facts, bro. Why did I should fucking do that, dude. I should fucking end racism. Unfortunately, we are hurtling towards a bigger racial divide than we've ever had. Oh, the internet's going to bring us together and make the world small. It is not. It is certainly not. The internet is blowing gasoline onto the fires of racism. Just wanted to such much love Rone, son of a boy dad, is number one in the podcast charts for the people that get it. Okay. I have to check the people that get it podcast charts because that's a resume booster for me. You need to get some sort of list from Che on here. His brain is fascinating. Facts, I wouldn't mind getting Che on here. Sparky lingering. Sparky, you are on suspension, my friend. 2-week suspension from Sparky. What it means is you are educated to actually display the history and culture of different cities for IRL stream, unique from many creators. That's fucking nice of you to say. Sparky, what's up, brother? You got to stay on the other side of the glass. Holy shit. This is all the cities. Holy God. All right, should we do the first one? Fuck. I wasn't ready for this. Every neighborhood in New York. Where are we starting? Hudson Yards. Okay, Hudson Yards. First stream, Hudson Yards. Is it a 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock thing? Is it 9 to 12? Is it 10 to 12? Is it different times? Like, what is the Hudson Yards? God damn, that snuck up on me. I wasn't ready for that. Hudson Yards. Okay. I like Hudson Yards. Unique architecture there. I believe the Flat Tire District is a underrated, underspoken about neighborhood that resides within Hudson Yards. Obviously, that beehive-looking thing that people jump off of, that thing gives me the willies in multiple ways. Even just walking up on there. Maybe we end the stream there, but I do want to start streams with a cup of coffee and end streams with a beer. I feel like that's a worthwhile bookend. Get Boosie on stream. Yeah, definitely knock off more than one at once. Nah, bro, but we want to, like, explore a neighborhood. Like, I'm not trying to half-ass shit. Maybe we go through and we figure out we could do more, but, like, I would love to find the edges of a neighborhood and just, like I'm mowing a lawn. Like, I'm fully unked out. Skateboarding history. Okay. 11 to 1 with a yak segment, you know? But, yeah. And it's like, first off, I'm like, okay, I don't want to go against Pick Central. But then if I'm not going to be in the office, I'm not going to be in the office. And second of all, nobody cares that they're going against me. Nobody cares that they're doing a show at the same time as me. I cannot be caring if I'm doing the show at the same time as other people. What's 2 things the bumbling country folk wouldn't believe that happens in New York or whatever? I don't know. I don't know what the beliefs of the bumbling country folk, but I believe in bumbling country folk. But I'd love to show New York to bumbling country folk. I think that's fun and nice. Ron, if your stream is better than the others and you get the right traffic, you'll just take their time slot. It's not even about taking time slot. I don't care about taking time slot. I care about making something that is good and stimulating. Time slots, what the fuck is a time slot? Time slot is like... That's like radio. That's Orson Welles language. Time slot. That's like morning drive time radio. Like drive time. People don't even fucking drive into work. We fucking teleport. It's the 21st century. We want better content in the day. Facts. I'm trying to give better content in the day. How's Eb holding up? She's good. She said that she's so thankful of how much you guys raised. And all this chat raised $1,400 for her. I made that $2,000 total. So we sent that over to Ebony. Hopefully that helps with some funeral costs. And she knows people are thinking of her, and she's very appreciative. Obviously, nothing can change some shitty stuff like that. You can't deny Barstool is based on time slots if you're talking about it. Right. So what's like part of my takes time slot? Because that's the biggest show we have. They don't have one? They don't have a time slot because they're a podcast. Oh, okay. What? Yeah. I don't want to be tethered to a time slot is what I'm saying is. And I don't want to argue with you because I freaking love you guys in here. When Max presses the button low key. So that's not a time, that's more of like an action, you know. Time, of course, a social construct. God damn, this Phoenix is good. Bring back the rivalry, Ron. What rivalry? Megalodon personally, I stopped watching PMT to come over here. Wow, thanks. I don't want you to not watch PMT, but I appreciate you being over here. Need more Max? Definitely believe that. Shout out to those brothers that started the Big Boy Show. My boy Sparky is lingering so hard, dude. Now you see, bro. That's my weakness. I start to feel guilty. But he's trying to pirate ship the show. I miss Billy Football. What do you mean? You could see him at any Yankees game that you watch. Do you know, Ian? You know if Large is in this bitch? He is. Oh, bring him in here. What? Let's get his ass in here. Barstool say that man's life. Facts. Only show the time slot matters would be the Yak, besides your show, of course. Yeah, Yak is locked into a time slot, but also like Yak is a top 50 comedy podcast. Like the people who are listening to that as a comedy podcast are not exclusively listening at that time slot. That's all that I'm saying. Favorite song from Life of the Showgirl? Heard a little diss track. I thought that was like a good. But I didn't mind the album, but I have been enjoying people on TikTok saying scurrilous things about it. Also, the act has no set ending, so it's not much of a time slot. Supreme debate. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Largo, que dice? What's up, my brother? How are you, my friend? So happy to see you, bro. I was just talking to them about, I'm getting the backpack. And when I go to Garrettson Beach,
Brooklyn,
I need you there.
Sicilian slice you've ever, greatest Sicilian square you've ever had in your life at Victoria's Pizza on Garrettson Avenue. I'm telling you, life changing.
And when I go to Sheepshead Bay,
we'll hit Randazzo's. We'll do the Galama. Calamari, as some people like to say.
You don't have to correct it for me.
We'll do Totono's in Coney Island, and we'll head back to Roll Roaster, swing by my parents. My mom will make some scones. Then we'll head over to Brendan and Carl. We'll try to hit everything.
Oh, this sounds like Large Day.
Yeah. Joseph Avenue U, we'll do a Pinelli sandwich, which is like that chickpea fritter with the caciocavalli cheese and a little.
Because Coney Island is going to be its own stream. What? Every neighborhood is a stream.
Okay, so I'm sort of
Sheepshead Bay is its.
I'm a South Brooklyn guy, so if you want to do the whole thing, or if you want to break it up into a bunch of different neighborhoods in South Brooklyn, I can do whatever the hell you want. I just don't know your side of Brooklyn. I don't know that sexy side of Brooklyn.
It's not even the sexy side. I'm not even worried about the sexy side. But what I did is can we even just show Large the wheel of what it looks like, just so I could kind of cross-reference exactly what I'm talking about? Hang on, we're about to pull it up on here. We have so every neighborhood in New York.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So I'm spinning it, and it's going to land on one at a time, and then once a week until this wheel disappears, I'm going to be going around a neighborhood at a time. But what I'm saying, when I go to South Brooklyn, when it lands on Sheepshead Bay, I'm going to be tapping the.
You bring me in.
Yeah, exactly. When it lands on, and it's like I'm almost happy that. I don't know. I want to wait for Coney Island for it to be nice out, because I went to Coney Island on Monday, and it's like it's off season.
It's dreary. Yeah. Coney Island is a different feel, different vibe, as kids say. During the summer, everything just kind of shuts down.
Paul's Daughter, though, is the bar on Coney Island right on the boardwalk. You can like kind of go belly up. It's like a very tiny bar, but you can get some. It's one of my favorite bars. So it's like I want to wait for Paul's Daughter to be back open.
I will tell you, one of the greatest things that happened, whatever the big hurricane was, it had taken and it had uprooted one of those container ship bars that they have in Coney Island, and it floated it over into Garrettson Beach. And so all of a sudden, these people who, some Garrettson Beach homes are kind of smaller. Yeah. People say shanty and whatnot because they're just smaller, kind of almost beach houses. All of a sudden, this, God, send us a sign that everything's going to be okay. Then a full container, container thing full of warm beer had come in, and they jumped on it like it was Christmas morning.
Yeah, that's heaven.
Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds amazing.
Mill Basin, Marine Park, Garrettson Beach, Coney Island, Sheepshead Bay. Any of those, if it happens to land on the wheel, and if you'll have me, I'll be your guy.
Yeah, I would love to. I think it would be an absolute joy.
If there's rust on the roof, there's water in the basement is referring to redheaded women. And I happen to be married to a redheaded woman, so it just means that that they get lost at the drop of a hat.
Okay. So someone was acting like it was a incontinence thing.
No.
I thought someone was saying that since I was a little bit gray, that I was fucking shitting myself.
No. It's more being misogynistic, maybe. So it's more
I think that's a celebration of women.
Yeah, it's a celebration of redheaded women, that they're always good to go, and for lack of a better term, they're always kind of slick.
That's not which is nice. Linoleum flooring style is what we're talking about. So I wanted to bring you in to celebrate, not only because I love having you around, and I think that you're a floor elevator, but I had Nate on a couple weeks ago. He was doing a light power ranking, and I wanted him to give like the old Spider Monkey the dog Nate power ranking, and his was celebratory, and he said he did a list of I like the cut of these people's jib, and you're like, hey, like if we're just celebrating jib cuts, I could do that. That's in my wheelhouse. And so I want to give you a platform to be able to do that. So what we did is we had you send a list to Tyler, and we have largest power rankings, 10 people he likes the cut of their jib.
Yes, 10 in and around 10 people whose jibs I enjoy the cut of.
What did you base this on?
I think when you say I like the cut of your jib, it's two things. It's appearance, and I think part of it is an appearance thing. So it's not only the personality, it's also their appearance. So it's one of those things where you can almost see them from a mile away and start smiling, and then once you engage with them, the smiles just kind of keep going on.
Is it just like that? Is it their presentation? You know what I mean? Like, is it someone who's well dressed, or is it someone who has a glow about them?
I don't think well dressed. I mean, I don't know how people would even characterize how I dress, and I really don't care. But I think it's just more of an aura. You know what I mean? Like there's certain, and if you see the list, there are certain people on there who I wouldn't characterize as the best dressed. But conversely, now that I'm looking over it, a lot of the people who are on the list are amongst the best. What did we have here? We had like falling down, right? Well, falling upwards.
Failing upwards, yes.
Failing upwards. And weren't those guys, they would like get on you for your...
They're a fashion podcast, yes.
They left just as I kind of got in here. Does that make sense? About 6 years
You guys would have had an interesting crossover, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, guys?
Gay presenting, but straight guys.
Okay, yeah, because I remember some people used to get ripped apart by those guys. I don't think they've ever come after me, and this isn't going to be something like that. I just genuinely like some people in the office, and I don't like others.
Yeah, I think that this will be telling, and I think that we'll be able to see a lot from the negative space of this list as well. You know, we'll be able to see who's on there, and I think the names who aren't on there will speak just as loud for the list. You don't have to say who you don't like. We'll be able to figure it out from who's not there.
Yeah, I will tell you, it shouldn't be a glaze session, so you're not on the list. Obviously, guys in the booth aren't on the list. Although,
Ian deserves it.
Yeah, although I don't know.
Maybe not.
No, he definitely deserves it. He's the hardest working kid I know, and like the newest stuff that I'm doing with the food wouldn't happen without the kid. But he just needs something. He needs to fucking step it up, I think, with what he's trying. Kid never had relish before he met me.
That's insane.
If you were to run down the list, like you're saying, the negative space, run down the list of shit that Ian hasn't tried, and he's got the palate of a 12-year-old kid, and it fucking bugs me because otherwise I'd let him hold my baby. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it's a lot, but he has room to grow, and I think if he's going to come on me on some of these walks throughout New York, so hopefully we can get him some culture, at least passively. Also, the last thing before you begin this list, I don't want to forget this. I'm going to be doing a 12-hour stream on October 30th, and I was talking to Devlin about doing some food stuff.
Sure.
And I want to do some food stuff, but I don't want to just be pulling a paper bag out of a greasy delivery plastic bag. I want to have it set up cool. So I want to have like a big map in a room, and maybe we're looking at different soups from different places, different dumplings from different places, different hot. I don't know. Something that's interesting, interactive, food related, and pops. And we don't have to figure that out now. I just want to put it in the back of your brain while we use your frontal lobe for largest power rankings of the 10 people who he likes the cut of their jib.
Yes. Nautical term, by the way. It's like a veiled thing of racism, too. If you know a jib, it's like that triangular sail in the front of a ship, and different nationalities fly their jib in different ways. So, like, you can see coming along, oh, there's an Irish, I don't like them. You know what I mean? So it is like a
very
little
nice.
bit of, so there's a little bit of racism here, because I knew you'd ask, Large, please come on, but try to bring a little racism with you.
Oh, yeah, we just want to keep it alive, at least.
Am I getting torn apart in a group chat?
God, no. They fucking love you.
Yeah.
Congrats on the re-signing, Large, they said.
Yeah, it happened last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My guy, what?
Yeah. So another...
Fucking go. What are you talking about?
Another 6 weeks of me, and...
He's on a day-to-day.
I would stay here for the rest. Like, Dave's like, what do you want to do? I was like, I'd like to extract as much money from you as possible and stay here for as long as possible.
So an honest negotiation.
Yeah, and then that was the last I spoke to him. And they got back to me a couple weeks later.
Let's go. Large is great. Well deserved. I'm loving Large. So actually, they're sucking you off. You know, we said no glaze, but somehow we're at a Krispy Kreme. Let's start. Let's begin.
Oh, yeah. So I have a couple of honorable mentions. And Rowan, you may know this. When we were doing Barstool Radio out of here, the serious thing, I had, whenever somebody new would come to the firm, I'd have them come on the show right away.
Of course.
So I think Brianna Chicken Fry came in and was drinking, wines and eating bagels with us on a Friday next to Coach Doug's next to like Mantis. Like everyone who was new would kind of come on.
Barnum and Bailey's Wet Dream.
Well, and it was all like we'd have to call her daddy girls in, all that stuff. And I got to remember, and I remember this vividly. When I had this one person come on, I didn't know this person from Adam, even though there was a bunch of people here at the company who had some familiarity with her. She came on to the radio show, and through headphones, I think she has the best radio voice, I should say. Maybe she sings like Two Cats Fucking. I have zero idea.
Can I guess who?
Yeah.
Trista Crick?
No.
Oh, because
Kelly
she has an
Keegs.
interesting voice. Oh.
Kelly Keegs and a pair of fucking headphones. I'm telling you right
Really?
now, I think that she has, and maybe it's just me because there are certain female voices, speaking voices, that I think are just very intriguing. This isn't like a sexy, creepy old man thing, which I can't seem to duck. I just think that she has the best voice. Is that weird?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I've thought about this. Very awesome. So honorable mention, best voice goes to Kelly Keegs. Yes. I used to have a power rankings of best voice. I'm going to throw 3 more at you.
Give it to me.
2 currently here, 1 no longer here. The no longer here is Trill Withers, Tyler I Am. That man had absolute silk for vocal cords.
I would tell you, I would hire him to put my kids to sleep.
The other,
not in a boring way. I think that guy, you're right. He's Barry White without the obesity.
Yeah, he had a fantastic voice. Another one, I like the graveliness of Riggs's voice. He kind of has this like Scruff McGruff like type of like. There's something like rumbling about his voice that I really like. And if we're just going for bassy, booming depth, Devlin is in the conversation for a really nice voice from me.
There was a homeless guy that somebody pulled up, and it winds up he was a famous like LA DJ. Somebody pulled up to him at a red light, gave him $5 and said, "Can you give us the weather?" And the guy, a guy was like sort of strung out.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
All of a sudden he banged out, "Today we're going to have 60." And Devlin's got that newscaster voice or old school Shadow Stevens type thing.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about it now. It gives me a little blood flow. Devlin has got the best male voice probably in this place.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. It's absolutely lovely. So honorable mention to Kelly Keegs, and then 3 more jib cuts that I also enjoyed. Continuing along.
So that's Nate. So listen, I have a great relationship with Nate. Nate was one of those guys. I wrote a blog yesterday. Okay. I got into it. Like I went deep into the Cardi B, Nicki Minaj kind of back and forth. Yeah, and it was all about vaginas. Like everything like went back to dirty Heineken bottled pussy. Like it was crazy. Yeah. So I was talking to Nate about it. I was talking to Nate about my contract thing. Nate and I are very. I think I consider him a friend. I'm kind of close. Yeah. But he has a way where everybody. Do you like Nate?
Of course.
Yeah, but he seems to have a way where everybody also has a moment where they hated him. And I wanted to do a segment like, when did you enter the Hatrix or the Natrix? Like, when did he say something to piss you off? And that's what he does. Like, it's his shtick, and I think he's probably the best at it. And so I wanted to mention that because I love Nate, but holy shit, he could throw a fucking wrench at people in a word that it would take other people months to do. I respect it.
He can't escape it, and he tries to mute that quality of him, and then somehow over the last like 2 or 3 months, he's had more blowout fights at his desk than anybody. I think there's like 3 big blowout fights that we talked about him a little bit last week, but he just is constantly. He's Sideshow Bob with the rakes, where it's just like he could try to tiptoe through the field. He's going to find a rake and step on it. It's going to smack him in the face. He's going to find another one. And, I think that all he wants to do is get along with Guy, but I don't think that that's how God made him.
Yeah, it's not in his I don't know what the fuck's up with this microphone. It's like for Za.
You can also...
after he was done doing his list the other day, he was like, "Oh, by the way, you're included in the blog crew."
Yeah, swing that around the front.
And I'm like,
And the blog crew, what does that mean? You guys are going out for like a Yankees game or something?
No, I think one of the people that he did, he kind of grouped like the blog crew just to sort of cut a wider swath. You know what I mean? Like of people that he likes. And he had like a like.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah.
A jib thing. All right, this is much more comfortable.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I seem like a diabetic there. Yeah, so I please don't take this the wrong way or take it the wrong way. I don't give a fuck. I think that Nate has an innate ability to piss people off, and it's great for fucking content. Yes. It's wonderful for content, but I will tell you, get him in a room, like I've spoke to him again about my contract, about certain blogs. I'm a high-risk blogger still, apparently, and I've had him on Barstool Finance. I've had him on You Gotta Try This. I've had him on every piece of content that I've ever had. I don't know if I have him on Twisted History, But either way, I love having the guy on because he always gets clicks and people are like, I want to fucking kill that guy. I've never seen that with anybody else here. Yes, he's a polarizing figure.
Hate is way better than
I spent way too much time on Nate. Please just keep going.
Next.
Yeah. So yeah, my least favorite person in this place is Nick Tirani.
Easy.
Tirani? Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
So people don't know this, but I have a stepsister. She's much, much younger than me, and Nick had dated her in college. She'd gotten pregnant. He was forcing her to keep the baby. He was taking away her right to choose, and not a lot of people know that. So I'm just going to put that out there right now because I think he's just a bad guy, very disrespectful towards women. I don't think he's overly bright. And just everything about him. There's nothing that I like about Nick Tirani. He's a fucking...
Unfunny, too. Deeply unfunny.
Deeply unfunny guy. I'll tell you another story. Nick Tirani, myself, KB, and I don't know who else. Oh, Jeff D. Lowe. We're sitting in a Rainforest Cafe in San Antonio, Texas. That's how you know
this is true.
Yeah, and that's how you know your life is not going. Were you with us? No.
I was not.
Yeah,
I
and
know it's true. I've
Nick
never been to
Tirani
San
goes
Antonio.
over to the fucking waitress, unbeknownst to me. She comes over to me midway through the meal. Rainforest Cafe, awful fucking food. And if people don't know what it's about, there's all these animatronic. There's mist coming at you. It's supposed to be like this jungle scene. The waitress in the middle says, you doing okay? I checked with the engineers here, and they said you should be doing okay. We just wanted a wellness check. So I turned to her. I was like, I appreciate you asking. I'm fine.
Right.
I was like, do you mind what you're asking about? She was like, you know, the people you're eating with had told us about your pacemaker and how the animatronics. So you got these people fucking fuck with me for pacemaker. I think that Nick and...
Deeply unfunny.
I think Nick and KB are probably two of the most brilliant people that are at this firm.
And
so much so that I hate them for it.
Yeah, and it's infuriating.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone to West Virginia so many times for Rough and Rowdy, as you have also. They've given me food places there that I've loved. Like, they hit on all cylinders. So all I can do is make up lies about how he tried to force my sister to not get an abortion when everyone knows I don't have a sister.
And we'll cut out this last part, and we'll only keep the part about the abortion.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Next up, we have the top 10 people based on the cut of their jib, and we'll start off with...
These guys do not get credit, Ron. I'm running you over because not a lot of people know Tech Guy Andrew.
Yeah.
Chico Technico. Not a lot of guys know Cody Lanza.
Of course.
And fucking Ben DiGiulio upstairs.
Oh, my God.
Those are three dudes. And by the way, all the guys in the tech booth are fantastic. Steve Jason, all those dudes. Everything that we do would
Even
look
though
like
Steve is taking an abnormally long paternity leave.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, the kid's in college now.
I hear you. But otherwise, everything would look like it was shot on a potato. So Tech Guy Andrew, in particular, is a friend of mine. I know. You ever see his wife?
Lovely.
Yeah, covered in tattoos. Like, respectfully, I told him I want to bend his wife over and just read the shit out of her. Like, you know what I mean? Just to see.
Yeah.
Everything about him, I kind of like. Cody's my guy. Whenever he's one of those dudes that gets put on a trip with us to do social.
Oh, he's
Cody,
all vibes all-star.
And I wish that more people knew who Cody was, and maybe they do, and I'm just out of my mind. Even like his girlfriend, Dev, she's also a fucking wonderful person. And Ben DiGiulio just makes my heart smile. Every time I see the guy, he's got that fucking wild hair, that terrible accent.
Some basketball shorts and a blunt.
Yeah. And so that's what I mean. Not necessarily a guy who's cutting a stylish swath or anything like that, but there's something about him that I dig. You know what I mean? So I like the cut of his jib.
When we did COVID shots in the office, all of the nurses had massive crushes on Ben DiGiulio.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, like at first I didn't see it, and then I started looking harder, and I was like, now I have a crush on him.
Yeah, and he's got a wrench. Guy's got a fucking wrench on.
Yeah, of course he does, dude. Of course he fucking does. That
So I
doesn't
gotta get
surprise
these
me at
guys
all.
up there.
Number 9 on the list, Ebony.
Yeah, so Ebony makes me feel good. Like, Ebony gives me street cred. Ebony tells me I look good all the time. I don't even know how I look again. And outside of my wife, I don't care how people really see me. Ebony's always like just one of those people. I walk in, she's got a smile as big as fucking, not always. Like, she hates a lot of people.
Of course.
And, you know.
She used to have like big beefs within the office. There used to be
huge.
people that was like, oh, fuck this fucking person.
I've never had any kind of smoke with Ebony. I consider it a thing. Every now and again, I'll give her a knife. Ebony's a huge knife person. You know that?
I didn't. I don't think I knew that.
And I'm a big knife person too. So every time
I didn't know that you were.
Yeah, so I would every time I have one, I just wind up giving it to her when I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Who else a big knife person? Nick.
Oh
Terrain,
yeah.
yeah.
Terrain does love a blade.
Yeah. So Ebony is again, this isn't a DEI pick or anything like that. I'm literally in love with Ebony. If I was to sleep with a black girl, I think Ebony would be number 1 on the list.
And I think that she says, I mean, well,
she's ratchet. She goes right after.
I think she wants a white guy. Or I know that she had like kind of this lovers dance with Nikki Smokes, that it was will they, won't they type of thing.
Right.
But and God knows she's fertile as hell.
Oh yeah. And she has no filter. So she says what she wants, and so she can get kind of raw. She's great to have on shows like this. Just kind of pop in every now
exactly.
and again.
She'll twerk and plug her OnlyFans.
She's a dangerous bitch. I think she got tased once when she was fighting somebody on a subway. So
really?
Yeah, Ebony is a host of stories. She's an untapped resource, I think.
Yeah, she has a very interesting life outside of here, where most people just kind of like slink back to their shitty apartments and fucking read comments about themselves. I think Ebony is living a rich and full life.
Yeah, I think she is.
Number 8 on the list. Jet ski.
So when we first started at Barstool Breakfast, we had the opportunity to keep jet ski or a kid named Handsome Sean. Do you remember Handsome Sean? He worked in sales also. He wound up fighting.
An intern?
Yeah, I think he did. I think mainly with sales, but he was one of those guys that was in the booth with us helping out then, because jet ski was kind of an intern at the time. So perhaps they were both interns, and we wound up with jet ski and not with Sean. For no reason. It's not. I don't even think we took a vote, and I'm so glad we did, because I became close friends with Jetski. He's an extraordinary young man. I think he's extremely talented. First of all, he comes in and like I bag what he rakes as far as how he looks. Jetski's one of the more handsome guys here.
Oh yeah,
Top
good bod too.
Top 2 guys.
And especially once he peels that shirt off, it's like, okay,
Does he have it?
large. You need to treat yourself. Let your eyes land on I mean, strong up top, thin waist.
And like I said,
always got it going on.
I've been here like 6 or 7 years, so I knew him when he was like much younger.
Right.
And he's come to me and like asked for advice. So there's a little bit of a paternal thing there. At least that's how it started. But now I just respect him, and I just think he's a good guy. And every time I see him, I've never had a bad experience with jet ski. So I love jet ski, and I love the cut of his jib. Not enough to get him above 8, though. So what does that tell you?
I'm bringing his desk over to that side. They were like, the producers are hardwired over there. I asked him. I was like, yeah, I wanted to bring your desk over. I better not. I'm going to make it go out the wrong way.
Feels good, though, doesn't it?
I'm scared. I don't even like being around knives.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
My intrusive thoughts are fucking so
Does it come to you at night?
so dangerous. I'm just like, oh my God, I could easily end it.
Moving his desk out's a good idea.
I want to move him over
should
there.
be over there.
Yeah, I want him over there.
Yeah.
Next up on the list, Clem Zingas.
So, yeah. Do you agree with that one?
Oh, he's the nicest dude we have.
But outside of being nice, I don't like, he comes in, again, the baggy shorts, the sweatshirt, it fits Clem.
Yeah.
Clem and I hosted Podfathers, and he was the only one that did it the whole time. Kevin had started it with him and Chaps. Kevin had then left when Kevin had the things going on with his wife. He was like, I want to pull away. Large, can you step in?
Right.
So I just started. So I stepped in. So I wasn't there the whole time. Chaps, for I think various reasons, had left the show for, an undisclosed amount of time once or twice. Clem was that guy. And I think it's a perfect way to look at him. He's that reliable guy that always brings the good vibes. I shaved his balls because when we were doing Podfathers together, there was a company called Manscaped who did the shavers.
Yeah.
So Clem was getting fixed. He was getting snipped.
Yeah.
So I went to his house. His wife, by the way, no business being with him. Beautiful woman.
Yes, I've heard.
Kids are wonderful.
Heard this.
And so we went in. She filmed as I took his ball hair off before he went to the doctors. So then he goes to the doctors. The doctors allow me to be in the room when they're about to go in and do the thing. I had to leave because I just didn't want to see it. And then afterwards, I bought him a dog collar so he couldn't lick himself, and I took him to lunch and the whole deal. It was a nice little piece of
That's
content.
so nice.
Yeah, so
What
Clem
the
and I go
hell?
way back.
So you've literally seen the cut of his jib.
I have, yeah. You know what? I've trimmed up. I've taken some.
You've cut his jib
Yes.
single-handedly.
I've taken some feathers off his mighty raven, give him the extra
my
optical inch. I love
God.
Clem. And I think we could name 17 people, 70 people on this list, and only one person, I think ever, that I've ever shaved their balls except for mine is Clem.
That's so nice. That's the mark of true friendship. I don't know if I'd let anybody, but I mean, I've seen you with a knife, so I guess you could probably go straight razor, hot towel to some balls with the way that you wield that thing.
Yeah.
But shout out to Clem, one of the easiest guys to talk to. He will chop it up with you. Number 6 on our list.
I just did beef the other day. I don't know how you guys are going to take that. I don't care. So he's going to be on. You got to try this next week. Barstool Beef. Not a lot of people have met him yet. I've been lucky enough to do 2 golf tournaments with him. He's the definition of gentleman. I don't even believe he's from the South, but that whole thing
The doffing the cap is incredible.
And I'm telling you, he's like a soft-spoken dude, very, very respectful. People come up to him all the time, rate my swing, and the way that he handles it with such a plum that he doesn't hurt anybody's feelings. He's helpful. Like the guy is he just wants to. He was put on. He's the anti-Nate. Barstool Beef is the anti-Nate. Yeah, he's Nate is Barstool Sardines. Barstool Beef is much more palatable. He's my guy, and he's a fucking planet.
Yeah,
I can't get my arms around him, so I could share a sweatshirt with him. So everything about him I like.
One of the things that made me notice that about him is during maybe it was like a mini golf tournament, and everybody's just fucking in his ear, fucking screaming at him. Like probably Kirk was just like in his ass, like trying to mess with him. It did not faze him at all. I think he missed the putt. Everybody's screaming at him, and he just like kind of like quietly went up and like redid the putt just to like get a make in, and just like completely within himself. Yeah, was kind of the vibe that I got from him. I've had limited interaction, but of course I doff the cap whenever I run into.
I don't know what he looks like outside of golf wear. That's the thing too. I want to
wake up in golf wear though.
Yeah, and I wonder how he sleeps. Like he could be one of those guys that sleeps with like that old timey sleeping hat. Like you know what I mean? Just something. Those longer shirts. Yeah. Anything that would.
He might carry a single candle to bed. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. Number 5 on the list.
Rico.
Let's go.
Yeah. So Rico and I barely interacted because we don't do a lot of content together. Rico's content is primarily sports and more specifically sports gambling. But I've been on some of his shows. He's been on a couple of my shows, just kind of cross-promoting type stuff, which we love to do here. Yeah. And I don't know. I've started to become like a better friend with Rico over the past couple of months, particularly after I had his dad on. So I should have put a slash here, Rico and Rico's dad, Eddie. All right? I mean, Ian will tell you, I sat down with Rico's dad. We started shooting the shit about Wall Street stories, and the only reason that happened is because Rico was on my show talking about Wall Street food and whatnot from his dad's experience. For people who don't know, Rico's dad and I had worked on the floor of New York Stock Exchange together, separately but together. And so Rico's like, let me just get my dad in.
It's so nice.
And much like you, Rico's one of those guys who I think is very interesting as far as wanting to do anything. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't keep up with what you do. Being social or a producer for you must be fucking crazy because you think of something and where everyone else spends 6 months kind of hashing it out before it, you're like, let's just fucking do it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I admire that. I don't have that arrow in my quiver. I think that Rico does. And plus he's got like a pretty cool little collection of shit over there where people send him all this stuff from different schools. And I'm jealous of it. I want shit sent to me.
Weirdly, the Rico that I know is so different from the Rico that's on like the Pick'em podcast. That's like yelling back and forth with Dan and Dave. The Rico that I know in the office and that like I text with is like a different dude than that. Like fully.
But I agree with you 100%. I've had that same experience, but I don't think the other Rico is bullshit either. I don't think it's put on. I think he's also a little fucking insane.
Yes,
like you know what I mean.
Also nice.
Yeah. So, and I haven't had that ire against me yet. I don't think I'm going to either. No, because there's no reason for me and Rico to ever get into an argument. Rather, so I don't think that's bullshit. I don't think him, blowing up on Nadu or anything like that. I think that's real. It's not like a put-on narrative.
It makes people interesting to know that they're volcanic.
Yeah, and so I enjoy the cut of his jib.
Yeah. Great jib. Yep. Our top 4. Number 4 is Francis.
Francis, I think, is one of the better dressed guys in the firm. So if we're talking about people that you see from far away, and even like some of the chances that he takes, come in with like an Indian print jacket that's $3,000.
Yes.
Doesn't work for everybody, but I think it kind of works for him.
Well, he's got that jet ski body too, where it's like you could hang some clothes on it and it'll look cool.
Yeah, and I think he also has that ability to, when he's slumming, like if he goes to have a Jamaican beef patty with me, he lets you know that he's slumming. Like, you know what I mean? There's something. Yeah. Francis is probably the only thing that Francis doesn't have in his bag is the ability to not seem disgusted when he's disgusted. If you bring Francis someplace that he thinks is below you, you know that it's fucking below you. But I've had him to my house a couple of times when we were doing breakfast. Zah had said how much he missed his family. and in Zimbabwe. So I was like, Za, you're invited to a Sunday sauce in the fall anytime you want. So Za would come out, have some wine, have like a pot of sauce with me and my family. We loved it. Francis did the same thing. He's like, I miss my family. I'm like, Francis, they're in fucking New Hampshire or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
they're
But
very
anyway,
accessible.
so he'd come over. My daughter, sings. She would perform in front of Francis, gave her like, tips and whatnot. So I think that Francis has got a side to him that not a lot of people can see. He's the guy that got me into Barstool Breakfast. So de facto, he introduced me to Willie, who I consider one of my best friends.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So I owe Francis a lot. I think he's wildly entertaining. I've been to his stand-up a couple of times where I feel like I was the only one laughing. I'm just fucking with you, Francis. I just think the guy's very talented and he's very good looking. I enjoy the cut of his
He's
jib.
also getting better and better at stand-up.
Yeah, it's only getting better.
This is the year of Francis. He's like, he's crushing
And
it.
by the way, he's going to leave us all behind
that's
unapologetically.
That's
Like, you know what I
definitely
mean?
coming.
Yeah, he's not bringing anyone with him.
He's in fucking Netflix shows and like
Yeah, I know.
winning
Yes,
successful
exactly.
roles. It
Yeah.
actually pisses me off.
Yeah.
Number 3 on the list.
Oh, that's for the patriotism. I think Cons is one of the only guys around here. I don't do it enough. I'm not necessarily Captain America or anything, but I like to see it every now and again. And I think Cons embodies that. I know Zero Block 30 is no longer around, but when he decided to pick up the mantle and keep going with this bold American, I kind of admired him for doing it because I think it's important that Barstool has that voice. I've always used Zero Block 30 as being the most noble thing that Barstool does, and now I've easily transferred that over to Bold American because I think Cons does a very good job with it. On top of that, Cons can show up at a party at 10 o'clock at night and he looks like he stepped out of an Eddie Bauer catalog. He can drink with you till 6 o'clock in the morning, and when he gets in an Uber at 6 a.m., he still looks like he just stepped out of a catalog. That guy is a fucking Iron Man. And you say yes to things all the time. I say yes to things all the time. But when those times come around, I'm like, fuck, do I really have to go to dinner with this person? Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Not Cons.
He's
Cons is
principled
games.
too. He's
yeah.
he has like a set of rules that he believes in, like from a guy who's like kind of wishy-washy about like, not that I'm not principled, but I'm like a lot of things I'm like, oh, I could see it kind of both ways. He like has an idea of how he thinks things should be, and I think it's like nice to have people like that in your life because they're firm and dependable. You know, it's like reliable. It's like, oh, I know what Cons thinks about like wearing tennis shoes with a suit. Like he's like, this is deplorable, and he's going to let you know every single time.
Baseball cap and Fort Charles.
Right.
Like, you know, like he's one of those guys who puts it out there on his sleeve and doesn't really care. Brings on all comers. And I think that traditional way. I even knew Cons' dad just passed away not too long ago. Rest in peace, Big Al. Like I know his whole family, and they're all that way. They all have that degree of attractive jib.
Yeah, I talked to him for a little bit after that happened because my wife's dad had just passed away and just like similar, and it was just like getting to know that side of a person when they're grieving is a little bit even more illuminating, and like he wasn't just like, hey, thanks, man. He was like, he wanted to have the conversation. I think he always does want to have the conversation, which I think is an admirable trait.
If he invites you to his house, he means it. It's not an empty invite. Conversely, if you invite him to anything, mean it because he's going to show up. You know what I mean? Like I've spent day after Christmas 2 years ago, I was like, I'm just going to be on my couch. You want to come by? He came by, his wife, maybe his kid was there at the time. I think he had kids. His mom, his dad. I've had his sisters over to a house down the shore that we have and all that stuff. And I consider him family. So it's a lovely experience for me. But just be careful if you invite him because he's going to bring a fucking posse.
I love that. Number 2 on the list.
Pat. Yeah, if I was gay, it'd probably be Pat. I wouldn't be with Pat, but the way that he kind of, I grew up in a household that believed gay marriage is the reason we have hurricanes, right? So there's something to be said about, what my upbringing is versus coming to work, starting a radio show with a Zimbabwean midget, a gigantic black dude from the NFL, a stand-up comedian who's never had a sandwich without the fucking crust cut off, jet ski, and Pat. And Willie had to be convinced that Pat was actually gay. I think he dances that line.
How did he convince him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Zip. No, and then so like when he was with Joey, it was so like he was able to play that. And then on the outside, and I think that's an important rope to be able to dance, particularly in our industry. Be whatever the fuck you want to be. Like I don't give a shit how you want to be. But I think Pat, I don't know, it just kind of agrees with me. He's got a great sense of humor. We were just down in, where the fuck were we? I think we were down in Florida or Alabama or something. and we had a day to ourselves. So we rented a pickup truck. Where were we? Birmingham, right? Yeah. Yeah. So we rented a pickup truck. Ian was there. We went to a shotgun place. We were just going to buy shotguns just to shoot mailboxes. You know what I mean? And that's Patty. Patty's down to always have a fucking good time.
When I found out he rides motorcycles, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, and he's serious about it too. So, I mean, I don't know what the content is there, but I know there's I know there's a sizable group of people on social media who love that shit. And so if Patty could take advantage of that, more power to him. I'm actually going to be on Out and About next week. He's like, oh, do you want to come in just to talk about it? I was like, okay, but I'm not ready to make that leap to gay yet, right? I still got a couple of years.
But I won't come out.
Yeah, exactly. I got to wait till my daughter gets married. And then, so I don't know. Me and Patty, we talk all the time. He's probably one of my closest friends here at Barstool.
I also thought that the gay bikers thing was a myth, but
Apparently not.
number 1 on the list.
I like fights.
Fights, yeah. Who doesn't, dude?
Isn't that a universal type thing? He's like a thick-wristed, like.
Yeah, he could probably bench like 275.
Yeah.
But like he dresses like in a modern but timeless way. He's like an easy laugh. You know what I mean? And not in a negative way. And like he has a broad sense of humor.
Yeah.
He's very affable.
I think some of his fashion choices, he looks like he went to like a K-pop convention or something. It doesn't work at all, but I love the fact that he does it. And I like looking at the guy, I like listening to the guy, I like spending time with him. And we don't do anything together. Again, I've been on KFC Radio a couple of times. He's been on some of the stuff that I've done. So it's not like we have, any
flagship
kind of
show together.
or any kind of repetition with it. But every time I have an experience with fights, biggest hug in the world. Just, I don't know. I find fights to be attractive on the inside and out.
He's a very laid back guy. He's just an easy, he's an easy Tetris block to fit in with. He's like the full square Tetris block.
I think he's going to be a terrible father. You know what I mean? Take something serious, you fucking weirdo. No, I love fights. I think
he's so good. And just like, I think even watching things like Mascots, and he was another guy who is on Tires. Like, it's just his talent is something that we're just kind of scratching the surface. Well, I had like a 2-hour talk with him the other day about like, man, you're fucking, that's not all I was talking about, but like he has such a ceiling with acting where it's something that's so natural for him. And I hope he does more stuff, not only just acting, but stuff around acting. I bet he will. But I think that he's just a very interesting and talented, but easygoing guy. I mean, he's got it in neutral.
I think he's one of the few guys too that everybody wants to see do well.
Yeah.
No matter how much I like somebody like Francis, I hope his episode of Cars bombs. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe, and that's not true at all. He did a couple episodes and whatnot. I don't mean that at all. But you know how sometimes you're not always necessarily happy for people that you know when they do well?
Yes.
Schadenfreude stuff, or maybe you're trying to blow out their candle, make yours burn brighter, whatever the fuck it is. Fights I'm always rooting for, and I probably shouldn't be.
But he's just a likable guy,
Yeah.
and I think that he is very deserving for the number 1 spot on Large's list of whose jibs he likes. You know who's number 1 on my list, though?
It's got to be me.
No, it's Tyler in there.
It's Tyler, yeah, Tyler's a good guy. Yeah. I'm 1B.
No, it's always you. And honestly, top 2 handshakes in the office, and I think that Cons might be number 1 on there. Whenever I shake your hand,
though. Feel the fucking hands.
Yeah, they're the softest,
things?
bro.
Softest hands.
But also, you give a firm shake.
Yeah.
I mean, Cons is if I always feel like I'm going to war whenever I have to engage my core if I'm going to shake hands.
Yeah, he needs to tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, but he's not fucking around. Well, you always have a spot here on this show, my friend, and absolute pleasure, my guy.
Anytime you need me.
You rock, and now we know a little bit more about Large, and also think about the negative space on that list, who he didn't say. That's as loud as what he did say.
Not true at all.
All right, buddy. You're the man. Appreciate it. Love the boots too, bro. So it's rainy and I fucking like them. Large, the absolute man. So easy to root for. Let's get Travi in here real quick before we get Whit. We got Whit coming in 10 minutes, so we have a nice W's in the chat for Large, bro. Can't believe Sass didn't make it. Yes, Large, our Tyler, our anti-stutterer. What? Oh. Large, our Tyler, our anti-stutterer. Joey, you son of a bitch. Large probably never met sad. Yeah, that's another way of saying he has not been depressed. All right, Travi, what's up, my guy? So happy to have you in here. People don't know, bro. Travi is low key a engine of this show in that you got the ideas.
Try to.
Yeah, no, you're always coming. You're like, hey, you know what we should do is this, and I'm always like, all right. Yeah, make sure this is pointed at you. But yeah, you're not scared to have the ideas, and I feel like this is the kind of show where we could just make it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, y'all run the engine though. I just try to help out on the side.
Well, you're at least shoving some coal in there.
Yeah, try to get it going. See what's viral. Stay within the trends, but having y'all's own twist on it.
I think that's one of the, like, you even were like, you were like, you should have the fucking the Stephen A. Smith fake guy, or the Unk Olympics that we're working on. That's actually, I just found out is happening, got sold or whatever. So that's going to be happening too. There's other shit. I mean, you're always just throwing shit at me, and like I'd say more than half the time I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do it. Some of the time I'm like, I don't know how I do that. I think I didn't know how I would make the Tubi movie.
Yeah, I know that would be difficult, but I will say, like, if I ever bring something to you, most of the time you're like, let's run it, let's try it, which I always like. So I was like, if you would always be like, no, then they probably wouldn't put my
that shit sucks, bro. Like, well, this is just a place to at least try shit.
Yeah.
And you brought up, you're like, bro, we should do the fucking long ass stream.
Yeah, but I feel like it's like I kind of brought up, people were also temperamenting with that idea of whatnot, but it's just like something that you just got to do it. Like, it's like,
you gotta fucking do it.
It's not like, oh, like we got to have this long elaborate like thing. It's just more of like getting people bought in and just like run it and go.
Run it, and we'll figure it out. And I'm even, John Foley's texting me, he does the beer game show, and he had 9 ideas. He's like, let's do them over 9 weeks. I was like, let's do them over 9 hours. And so he's texting me on the side. We're about to have another meeting about that after this. But the fact that the 12-hour stream is lining up with Halloween means that we have an opportunity to be able to do something kind of cool. And we're going to do a costume contest, and we're going to do a reverse hat pull. So from what I understand, you have about 20 ideas in there, 15 ideas?
Oh, around 15 to 20 ideas that I'm going to give to Ron. He has not seen any of these ideas. As I wrote them down yesterday. They're kind of broad, so people can still have like creative freedom of like what they want to do with their costume. But it'll be the last one that's left in the hat will be the theme for the office for the entire stream, and we'll go from there. Try to add like a spin on it where there could be some funny screen grabs of people just walking around the office in a costume or whatnot, as well as the content that we kind of like put on that day.
I'll also put up $1,000 to the winner of a costume contest, and I'll also, like, what else could I do? Like, I was like, should I buy lunch for them for the week or some shit like that? I feel like that'd be cool. Like, what other incentive do you think I could give? Or, you know what I mean? $1,000 lunch for a week and a case of beer. I feel like that's nice.
Yeah, they probably like that.
That's nice. Or even, I mean, or some whatever booze you like. And if you're not a booze head, we'll get you some weed. And if you're fucking into, Buddhism and aren't into any of that stuff, we'll find something fun for you. So without further ado, the reverse bucket pull, and I'm damn excited. So the first one that it will not be is TV characters. TV characters is out. That would have been a fun one. TV characters would have been nice. The next one that it will not be is legends in sports, TV, or music. Okay, so that could have been fun. That could have been very nice, but that will not be it. Next up, we have Kings and Queens. Sad for Pat, because that would have been amazing. Kings and Queens would have been amazing for gay Pat. Yeah. Next up, we have Cowboys versus Aliens. Damn. That would have been fucking good. Cowboys and Aliens would have been fun as hell, but that will not be it. Next up, we have fantasy. So like Harry Potter, Star Wars, etc. No Hermione Grangers, no Chewbacca's. That shit is dead. Sad to say. That would have been fun. These all look fun. Video games. Okay. I'm glad that we don't do that one because I really don't even have the first idea of what my
Meek's hurting right now after you said that.
Yeah. Video Meek would have been Legends of Zelda or some strange shit. Or he would have just liked to look at other people dressed up as video game vixens. Conspiracy. Ooh. What would have been conspiracy theories?
I think there's just the mind of like anybody, you could pick whatever, because you could say technically that anything would be a conspiracy theory. So
Right. You could be like Jesus or like aliens or some shit like
anything. So that was kind of the one that I've also seen viral on social media. People just come to a party dressed up as a conspiracy theory, and it's been going viral. But
alas, we won't be going viral with that one. Villains. I would have loved to put on the Jafar beard. You know what I mean? I would have loved to hit him with the Despicable Me, the Groot, or at least a light minion. 80s pop culture and that would have been good. 80s pop culture and sports.
There's a couple decades in here.
Okay, I like that. I
tried to keep it broad, because like if you handcuff somebody to like a small niche thing, it's like you can only have so many characters or something.
Decades is good. Decades is good. Decades is a lot of fun. I was starting to do a list before I knew you had one. Decades was one of the bottom ones I had on there. 90s pop culture and sports. Another decade hits the dust. Sad. Damn, 90s would have been fun. 90s, a lot of that shit is, easy to get. It's back in. Next up, we have Disney themed. Damn, there will be no Little Mermaids, Little Mermen, no Elsa from Frozen. That one's out. We got 70s pop culture and sports. What are the chances 3 or 4 are the decades? 70s is out. 70s would have been fun as fuck. Damn. Okay, how many we have left? Like about 8 left?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look like 7 left.
7 left. Okay, next up, it will not be comedy movie characters. Okay, I'm happy that it's not comedy movie characters, because I think comedy movie characters are funny, but dressing up as something funny doesn't always hit as funny as the character themselves. Okay, we have around the world. People are celebs from different countries. That's another fucking good one. That's one I had on mine. Around the world would have been fun. I'm just really looking for a chance to dress up as Steve Irwin, and that would have been me, Steve Irwin. Maybe Stingray in me, maybe not. Just out of respect. Horror movies and characters. Damn.
Would have been a good one.
Yeah, that would have been good. Little Freddy Krueger. Monsters Inc. There's a lot. I guess Monsters Inc. could be Disney, could be horror, could be either way. 2000s. Is that 2000s or 2010s?
2000s.
2000s pop culture / sports. Sad. Okay, we got a couple more.
Left.
Okay, like 3 more left. Anime. Okay, Meek Phil narrowly fucking hits another one, but just a miss for Meek Phil. Oh man, sad. The last one that it will not be, Mafia.
No Mafia.
Okay.
All right, last one.
So without further ado, the concept for the 2025 costume contest at Barstool Sports will be Heroes. Wow, let's go, bro. Steve Irwin's back on the table. Heroes.
He's re-entered the chat. Steve Irwin is back on the table.
That's sick. Wow. So Heroes is awesome, because that's broad. It could be sports heroes. It could be historic heroes. Heroes across the board. $1,000. Lunch for a week, and a case of beer to whoever has the best costume on October 30th. We will do a live costume competition in the office. I think this will be fun. I think this should be fun. The more people participate, the better it will be. You're the man for coming up with this idea. I think this is a heat rock. I think this is probably one of the best 3 to 5 that we could have had on here.
Yeah, broad. Hopefully everybody enjoys it, but hopefully it'll be a fun stream as well.
Is there any that you wish were going to be on there that didn't wind up?
I thought conspiracy theories would have been funny, just to see where
Would've
people's mind would be, where their mind would be at. But I think Heroes is good. Any of the decades would have been funny, just seeing people dress up in old clothes type stuff, like some early 2000s attire. But I think we ended up at a good spot. It's broad. You can still pull off what you want to out of Heroes, so it should be funny.
Some of the other ones I had on my list that didn't hit: animals, objectively good people, objectively bad people, fictional character. I mean, yeah, I think cartoons come to life. I think we had some other really good. They said Gaz can bring back Kevin Garnett.
Well, I'll leave that comment to him.
You're the man, brother. Thank you so much. Fantastic idea. October 30th, we are making this shit happen. It is on its way. And it'll all be going down right here on RoneDotCom. 10:30 on the dot. We got the boy Whit on the other line, and I believe we have him ready to go. Amazing stuff. Heroes. I mean, Whit's welcome to come in and be a hero. Maybe I dress up as Whit. You know, he
For
might.
What, Halloween?
Yeah, the theme is heroes.
Oh, I really appreciate that. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you just get some bigger ears, pull your ears out.
Bro, your ears are not that big. Is that your thing that you're self-conscious
I
about?
got one that's big. Sticks out by a little extra.
Has it always been like that?
Yeah. There's pictures when I was younger. It was even worse. I think as the face filled in a little bit, it might have helped that left ear look a little smaller. But she's still out there.
What I would love to see from you is a full beard grow out, because I feel like
I have one. Google it.
Really?
Cup Finals, 2008 Cup Finals. It was all red, and now it would be all gray. But the thing was, dude, it was kind of legit. It was. I was like a mountain man.
You have the best 5 o'clock shadow at Barstool Sports. That shit is
Because
fucking.
if I shave at 9 a.m., it's a 5 o'clock shadow by 3:30.
Yeah, that's the actual 5 o'clock shadow. That's fucking. Oh, is this it?
Let me see. Yeah, I think that's
God
it.
damn.
Yeah.
You
Not
look,
bad.
You look fucking great with that thing. What? Why would you keep that under a bushel?
I don't know. I just get so itchy. I remember that playoff run. I was like, this is horrible. Like, I want to shave, but I probably would have got cut immediately middle of the playoffs. You can't shave your beard mid-playoffs. First, after we lost, it's gone.
Right away?
Yeah, too itchy for me. Why? You can't even grow one?
My little pussy-ass face, bro, like my little face ball, bitch-ass fucking under chin, dude. I'm about to go on the next bald stool and just get fucking this area filled in. And this is
You
like...
go to Turkey for your chin?
I really think I might. Other people have. I think Eminem, whenever Eminem just popped up with a beard out of nowhere, I think he might have been in Istanbul for a little bit. I think this is also... Like, this is the sign of being a man. When you have it right under the chin, like, I think that's, like, the testosterone-driven facial hair. So I believe that I was born a bitch, and I might die that way.
But you can just, you're a pro at having a flavor saver if you wanted one.
I think there's, like, enough a little bit that I could tickle somebody's balls if I was blowing them. Dude, it's so good to have you on. I was bothering you last week, and you're the man with your time. You're just so damn generous with your time. Are you guys unnamed this week or no?
No clue. Don't think so. Don't know. I asked Dave, is there a show this week? He said, I don't know. So
who's in charge of that?
Maybe Dave, pretty much. They blame me for when they don't happen, but I think Dave and I are 50-50. Kirk has never been the reason that one didn't happen. He's always very down to do it. I never want to do it, and then Dave will do it if he kind of feels like it. That's kind of where we're at.
Why don't you want to do it? It's like such nice content. You just don't want to mix it up with them?
No,
or it's the time?
No, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. There's just sometimes I'm like, I got no desire to do this right now. Like, I'm very honest about that. Like, I don't know. I love talking hockey. There's some very funny things we've talked about on there. Like, when it's fun stories or Rico's involved, like Clemmer sleeping on the stream Dave shut down. There's some very fun moments, and then there's times where those guys are screaming at each other about
politics,
maybe something politically or Israel and Palestine, and I'm kind of like the AJ Hawk of the show.
Yeah, that sucks ass. When I just don't want to hear most people talk about politics. Even people who talk about politics for a living, I don't seek that out.
I don't know anything about it, so when I say something, I sound really, really dumb because there's one side that's like, you're an asshole, and then I'm like, I guess I am. I didn't even know what I was talking about. I was just trying to fit in. You know what I'm saying, Ron?
Do you ever think about the fact that you birthed kind of like a mini meme with, because I was going to reference it, you sound like a re-moron. Does that ring a bell at all, re-moron?
Oh, with the...
Because people say that. People are like, re-moron.
Yeah, that was a very quick catch of the tongue, I guess. The funniest part about that, or the most depressing part about that, is I was driving with my son, Ryder, who I think was like 1 or 2 at the time, and I pulled over because I was getting so mad at Dave and Riggs that I was screaming on the phone, and he, he's just a little baby. You have 2 little babies,
Right.
and he's probably like, what is going on? Why is my dad screaming? And yeah, then almost dropped the R word, which I guess has somewhat come back. But I've had people I know say they don't appreciate that word, maybe somebody in their family. So I try not to use it, right? But that moment, the anger took over, and I was smart enough. Moron.
He didn't even get to the
You're
T.
fucking moron.
It's so timeless. I think people enjoy it online. It's a good way to say it without saying it. The other thing I wanted to bring up before we talk hockey, guys, is later on today, I have a show coming out called Warm Ones, and it's me drinking warm beers with Meek Phil and Clemmer. And I was saying to our chat that we had to cut it down from 2 hours to about, 40 minutes? Yeah, 45 minutes, because Clemmer was, he had a light ramble. And I was like, once we have Whit on, I think that Whit would be kind of uniquely equipped to talk about the way that Clemmer gets when he drinks. Because when me, Clemmer, and Francis were kicked off of Surviving Barstool for, I think, a night, it was just the 4 of us in the house. And with Mincy.
I had 2 nights because one night was just me, Clemmer, and Mincy. And then I believe you came the next morning?
Maybe, yeah, or like midday or something like that. Francis got smoked, and then I was smoked shortly after. And it was just, it was a bitch fest, and I think Clemmer most of the time was sitting cross-legged, eating 200 milligrams of edibles, just pouring ciders into his body, where I think his blood alcohol content must have been predominantly ciders at that point. And it was one of the most unbelievable drinking experiences that I've had, but also I think Francis almost like spiraled through him off the roof.
Yeah, at one point. I mean, I'd been dealing with it, and I think I was pretty good at just like, I'd leave the room, I'm like, I can't handle this guy anymore. And then that one night, Francis, I never seen Francis that angry. Like, he actually, like, snapped. Like, the wires crossed. And Clemmer, God, he'll wear you down in those situations. He actually got me again. Finally, he apologized. He sent me a text. He got me again at the reunion show. Remember we went back?
Yeah.
For like the final announcement that Rhea had won.
Yeah.
And that night he was in my face giving it to me, just talking about how he had that entire game wrapped around his finger in his mind. He was gonna win. And it was like, you were never gonna win. I think that was what Francis ended up screaming at him, like, you never had a chance of winning. And Clemmer sent me a text like, I'm really sorry, like my drinking's gotten a little out of hand. When I drink, I get emotional. I get I guess, like, just so consumed by whatever he's talking about. And Survivor to him was like, he was a Survivor master. He'd watched every episode ever, and then he got smoked thinking he's a part of the Pizza 4. Now, I think he was fuming. I made it longer than him. If I make it longer than you in that show, and you're a professional at Survivor and gameplay, then you really should be depressed. That's probably what it was. Like, Whitney wasn't even in the game, really. I was getting smoked in the midst of getting smoked watching the President's Cup. There was an idol key right next to me. I didn't even look, and he lost to me. So I think that's probably what it was. But goddamn, did that guy get emotional discussing that game for those nights at that house?
He was driving the point home consistently, and I think Francis didn't want to hear it. I think Francis gave him a shut up, but he comes from the Kirk school of arguing, so he was like, what are you going to do about it? And I think he wanted Francis almost to be like, I'm going to fucking whip your ass. And Francis was just like, I'll leave. Like,
yeah, he was going to leave. No, I remember he's like, you're ruining the night. Clemmer, you're ruining this whole night.
He said, you're a tough hang.
You're a tough hang.
You're a tough hang, Clemmer.
Because we were watching Georgia, Alabama. We had beers. Everyone's smoking a little, just having a grand old time. And yeah, Clemmer was bringing down the vibe. You're a tough hang.
And so I think that when we were talking, when we were doing this Warm One show, Clemmer had the same, because he kind of stopped drinking, and I convinced him to drink for the show, and he was just like, well, how do we like save like New York? And I was like throwing things at him. He's like, oh, but we can't ask him to do that. And he just was like, we were talking in circles, and it was funny at the time. And then Tyler said he went back in the edit, and he's like, these guys are just fucking obliterated talking in circles. It was nasty stuff. But I am
How many beers were drank? How many warm beers?
It's 6 each, so it's not crazy. But Meek Phil threw up 3 times. Clemmer was drunk by a beer and a half because his BMI is like around 5 or something like that.
He's
so
6'3", 130.
yeah,
No wonder a
exactly.
beer
He
and a
could
half
like slip
buckled
through a fucking subway grate if it happens. Or I don't. It was bad, but. I'm happy that you're on, and
Thank you.
I originally asked you to come on because I wanted to talk about why hockey players are so funny, and I'll tell you what originally brought this to my attention, and it was, I think Yandel was doing a golf video with Francis and Sass, and I think a lot of the comments of the video were like, how is it that Yandel is with 2 dudes who are professional comedians, and he is like by far carrying the torch of the humor of the conversation. And it like really like it had my wheels turning. I was like, how the fuck is it that these hockey dudes that, I mean, it's you have some of the best stories and just an incredible storyteller. It's Biz, just his outlook on life and how he tells stories. And I haven't even spent any time with the Andal, but just watching it all unfold, it's so fucking funny. And it even seems like even if Oldie was in that situation, just his natural ability to be a hockey guy, he would just have this this ray of sunshine of like humor that even floods out these guys who are comedians who submit their lives to writing jokes and being on stage and trying to make people laugh. So like, how does that happen, and why is that, before we get into naming names?
Well, in fairness, like none of the hockey guys I know that are very funny, and there's countless. If they went up on stage, they wouldn't be funny. Like it's so different, right? So it's not. I guess it's not fair to compare, but hockey guys from the time I mean, my oldest is 7, and he's playing hockey, and like you're kind of just chirping each other constantly in the locker room. Like it is a culture of you're just ripping on each other, all in good fun. There's always maybe a guy on a team or every other team that isn't great at taking it. They can give it and can't take it. I probably was like that a little bit when I was younger. I've submitted to knowing that there's many things you can just carve me for, but it's more about like the locker room vibe of just like busting balls nonstop. And then I think when you run into guys like Jans who are extremely quick-witted, like Jans' funniest things on the show, and I mean we've been friends our whole lives, are just these little quick whips like that you almost you don't even hear him half the time. And then there's like 3 people dying laughing. You're like, what'd he say? Like type something like that. But that night in that was at Great Horse, and we had a fire pit, and it was Biz, myself, Jans, Francis, Sass, Hank was out there. And yeah, it was kind of one of those Yandel moments where he was like taking over, and I could tell like Francis and Sass are dying laughing. Like they're like, and if you make a comedian laugh, that's a pretty cool feeling. Like Jens and I played golf that trip or later on with Andrew Santino, who was a great guy.
Yeah.
And we had him laughing at different things, and we're kind of like fist pumping in the car. Like, this is great. This guy's an all-time comedian, and we're making him laugh. But I think it's more the culture of being on a team that, and NFL teams, there's 55 guys, and I don't know how close NBA teams are all the time, if they're hanging out a ton on the road. With hockey players, you're going to dinner with not necessarily the entire team, but there's like 10, 12 guys every night out on the road having dinner together, and you're just carving each other. It's like, I don't really know how to describe it other than it's one family, and you're just part of it is like, not tough love, but just giving each other shit. Like, you're on your toes. Like, you wear a certain outfit in, and you kind of have in the back of your mind, like, I could get chirped for this, and then boom, 3 guys are coming at you all over the place. You're like, I can't ever wear this again around this team. There was 5 lines that were funny.
I don't think it's just sports. I think it is unique to hockey because I've never met a funny baseball player. And I think that like basketball players, there's like some of them are funny, but I do think it's more isolated. You go on the road, like maybe they're having dinner, they're like with this, like it's not the whole team is together the entire time. I think there's like such a separation, and maybe that's the money. You know, there's like a guy who's making 80 million and then there's a guy who's making like, 2 million or something like that, and they don't even want to be seen in the same area. And I think kind of the same with football. Like there's some funny football guys, but maybe they're not together for as long of a period of time. But it seems so unique to hockey that people are getting flamed, but also for the most part, good guys. It's not like you're a fucking scumbag and you're just trying to like destroy people. It's like you're a good guy deep down.
No, I think that, I swear to God, like I played pro hockey for like 12 and a half years. And like, it's maybe a handful of guys. I'm not a great dude. It really, like, people probably think like hockey guys are full of shit saying that, but it's also a sport where like every guy on the team matters so much, which, I mean, you could say the same for most sports, but it turns into like there's so much respect for the 4th line guy. Like a guy like Biz, who never made a ton of money, never played a lot, but the top guys on the team like know how much he matters, right? He's going out there. The aspect of like fighting for your teammates, that's a big thing. Like you get in a fight in the NHL, you get your head beat in, team comes into the locker room at intermission, and everyone is like, let's fucking go. Unreal, dude. That's cool. Like, doesn't matter win or lose. It's like the guy showed up. And a lot of the times it's in response to his teammate maybe taking a dirty hit or something. And boom, no question asked. You're hopping in. And it might be a guy that's going to pound your head in, but like, I don't care. Like, that was my brother that he just hit. Even though that guy I'm defending, I'm going to carve the new shoes he bought and torture him for wearing those things on the road trip. It's like kind of like a not love-hate, like it's just love, but the way you show it in the room can sometimes be seen as like, wow, do they even like each other? Like Jans and I, we have the same group of buddies at home. There's like 12 of us.
How do you guys know each other? You said you've known each other your whole lives?
Yeah, so Keith's older brother, Brian, he and I played together since we were 8 years old. Keith's 3 years younger than me, so he was always around. But when we were 14 and Keith was 11, he might as well have been 18. It was just crazy. Like the kid he's an old soul. He's grew up quick. And but the group of friends we have at home, like if we've been out and there's been other guys that maybe are hanging out and they're like, are you guys friends? Like there's not much like nice things being said to each other, but we all love each other. That's kind of the relationship I think a lot of hockey guys have. But overall, like it's just about the fact that like you're sticking up for one another, and it's like, hey, I can make fun of you, but that guy on the other team can't say shit to you. One of those type things.
Yeah, fuck. I was like, when I was a kid, I was convinced myself because hockey was the only sport I never like played and failed at. I was like, oh,
did you watch it ever or anything?
I used to go to like Flyers games when I was a kid. Like I used to love going to Flyers games. Flyers games low key had like the hot Jersey moms, and like you walk around the concourse and it's just like a way hotter like group of women than at any other. Even as like a 13-year-old kid, I was like noticing that, but like I've never
trashy hot.
Yeah, exactly. It's just this, I mean, Jersey, so it's like naturally trashy, but I loved it in person, but I just never had that. But I like convinced, I was like, oh, I would have been sick at hockey if I ever played. I wouldn't have. I'm not a good athlete at fucking anything across the board, but I still have that thought in the back of my mind that I convinced myself.
You would have been great in the locker room, though.
I would have loved to be in the locker room. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's like I should have just like been like, I can stand up on skates and get the shit beat out of me. That would have been a nice role for me, just for the vibes. But so are there guys, I'm not going to make you do a whole ass top 10 list, but are there guys that like really stand out, whether it's guys you played with or played against or just crossed paths with, that are like, oh my God, this guy is one of the funniest human beings, even among our fraternity of hockey guys, that just kind of transcends that like steps above and would be great on a podcast or just is great in person?
Yeah, so Jan's kind of like across the board, anyone who played with him, they probably say he's the funniest guy they've ever played with. So that's like one guy, and I've just seen it my whole life. Biz was very funny. Like like you say, Biz's approach to life. That's kind of the perfect way to describe it. Like, has zero problem carving himself. Like, there is zero ego to Biz. He's just like, yeah, I'm like a fourth line plug who gets in fights and stinks at hockey. Like, that was like basically how he would describe himself when he played. So getting to work with those two guys, that's what makes it so fun. But there's a guy, and he's been on Chicklets, so anyone could go listen. His name's Andre Waugh. I played with him in Pittsburgh. He won the Stanley Cup in Tampa, and he signed with Pittsburgh. And like a lot of these very funny guys, great teammates, he was a tough guy. He was very tough, fought a lot, and he was just, it was nonstop. He would imitate he could imitate every teammate, and he could do accents. And then when he's talking normally, he has a heavy French accent, which added a lot. Like, if he's telling a story, just his accent made it even better. There was a time he told the story on the pod on Tampa. They had the chance to win the Stanley Cup in Calgary in Game 6 of the Cup Finals, and they lost. So they're going home. And, like, everyone's kind of rattled, and he's like, I just figured I had to, loosen up the mood. And once again, as he's even saying that in his thick French accent, you're, like, already laughing. And he went into the back of the plane, took all his clothes off, put the stewardess's, the flight attendant's little apron on, and just walked down butt naked with the apron on, handing everyone cookies. Like, so guys are looking up with his hairy ass in his face, getting a chocolate chip cookie. Like, that's like one thing he would do. He would also do.
Did they win after that? Did they wind up winning?
They won Game 7.
And they
won Game 7. And Zdeno Chara, who's I think the tallest player ever to play in the NHL and one of the toughest, he would skate by the bench, and Andre Waugh would do like the Chewbacca voice and like noise, and like Chara would like snap it. Yeah, I can't do it, but he would do that so loud, like standing up in his face, and Chara would just look and like we're dying laughing. It was just, that's a guy who, and it's all about like what he did on the plane, like keeping it loose. He always kept it loose, and this was also a guy who he didn't even like fighting. So we'd be playing a team with another heavyweight. And from the time he woke up in the morning and had to go to the rink and do pregame skate, like he was telling us, like, I was just overcome with anxiety that night I was going to have a chance of like breaking my orbital. You know what I mean? And so he was able to deal with that while still like having the same humor and keeping the room so loose. And that was a guy that stood out big time. Yeah, Jans, I said. There's a guy I never got the chance to play with, Mark Bergevin. He played like 20 years in the NHL. He went on to become the GM in Montreal. He's not there anymore, but he was on the cover of the Hockey News at one point, like the funniest man in hockey, and he would constantly prank people nonstop. Then there was a time, there was a goalie. I've told this story. His name was Sebastian Caron, and he would make the most incredible saves of all time, but then he'd kind of let in some weak ones. He was an NHL goalie, so I'm not trying to say he was bad, but they called him Trout. I don't know why they called him Trout. And so, like, he's fit. He's in the crease, and he's all over the place. He's on his stomach. He's on his back. He's throwing his legs up. And finally, one goes in. And Bergevin stands up on the bench. He's like, holy fuck. Hey, Trout. Hey, Trout. The whole bench is looking, and he looks. He's like, it's frozen water, for fuck's sake. So, like, little things like that. There was a guy, amazing. Ryan Malone, who I played with, very close friend of mine, tough as nails. I'm not going to, like, very handsome guy. This guy he's just a stallion. So he was, like, a prankster. So my rookie year, I got tortured by this guy. The first way he got me was I was getting dressed after practice, and the whole team's like sitting around in the lounge. And like, I'm like, it's kind of weird. Like, usually not everyone's sitting there. And I get my shoes and I bring them to the lounge, and like, it's kind of quiet. Like, I remember being like, what is going on right now? And I go to put my foot in the shoe, and I'm like, what the fuck? Something's in here. So I take the shoe and I go like this, and I pour it out. It was a dead mouse, dude. He shoved a dead mouse in my shoe.
Oh,
so they're all
God.
dying laughing. They're all dying laughing like, rookie Whit, you pigeon. I was like, oh my God, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. Then we go to New York about a month later. I bought a brand new pair of black dress shoes. They were nice. Dude, it was like, I had horrible style, still do, but I was like, these shoes are sick, like to wear with my suit. So we got smoked, And then we had rookie party. So the coach had one-on-one meetings with everyone. You're just waiting to go in. Rookies had to go last, and you'd go in, and he just carved you. What the fuck was that? You're horrible, pathetic display. Hope you have fun tonight, blah, blah, blah. So I come out, team's waiting around again. I'm like, what's going on? I was like, where are my shoes? Anyone seen my shoes? Immediately, I'm like, oh, fuck. I find the shoes. He'd spray painted them fluorescent blue. They were like a fucking neon marker blue, and he has written number 19 on the toes. I'm like, God damn, I just bought these things. He put shaving cream in my head when I was asleep maybe 6 times on the plane. Then the final game of the year, we're playing at home for the second to last game of the year against the Islanders. We're leaving right after the game to fly to Toronto, which is the last game of the year, the next night. We're out of the playoffs, and I'm like late showering. I got to get to the plane. I go to grab my shoes out of my locker. It's the 3rd pair of shoes I'd had that year. And he has nailed them. They're nailed into the locker. So I'm like, what the hell? I can't pull them. I had to wear the team-issued Penguins Adidas sandals to the flight in a suit and then to the game the next day. So a guy that would nonstop just torture me, but like I love him to death. Ryan Malone, very funny.
That's incredible.
I said something to him once because in the Cup Finals, the same year I had the beard we were talking about.
Yeah.
He got hit in the face with a slap shot and broke his nose, broke his orbital, and kept playing. And then he had a phenomenal playoff. He was a free agent, and he ended up signing a monster deal. It was like a $32 million contract with the Tampa Bay Lightning for the next year. But before he'd even signed that, his face is out to here. We'd lost the cup. Everyone's upset. But at this point, it's 2 nights later, and the team's just drinking, hanging out at a bar. And the guy who hit him with the slap shot's like Bugsy. His nickname was Bugsy. That's what made it great, too. He's like, Bugsy, I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. Like, I'm so sorry about that. I obviously didn't mean to. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. You just made me another $2 million a year. As his nose and his face is broken. So
what a psycho.
You're psycho.
That's fucking amazing. I mean, it just sounds like the most fun you can have playing a sport. But then it must be like almost equally hard to like be like leave it, you know? Like where do guys have like obviously they have a tough time. Like how do you fill that like hole of like incredible camaraderie? Because most guys like finish playing sports at like 14 or 18 or 22 and they're just fucking done. But like to be able to take that into your 30s, it's more of a identity of your life of like you spent more time playing sports than you did not playing sports. And when you have such tight-knit communities and groups, it's like, well, the time when you lose that almost has to be like you're in the fucking wilderness. So do guys have a tough time, or how do they like fill that hole that they had?
That's the biggest question post-retirement and what scares guys the most. And that is why, like, no doubt in my mind, I'm like eternally grateful for Chicklets and Biz and like, you know, RA and I started it. Biz comes on. We got Colby Armstrong, Matt Murley, who I played with in Pittsburgh. They do game notes, which is a part of Chicklets. Yance came on because we've talked about this numerous times. Like we still have it. We still kind of have this like locker room vibe. It's twice a week. We have our road trips together where we're, you know, making content, doing things that I'm like, God, thank God we get to stay in the game and stay in this locker room type atmosphere with what we do for work. And a lot of guys don't. And then a lot of guys chase it. Like the best way to describe it is somebody said, like, becoming a pro athlete, playing into, you know, and if you play till you're 32 now, like that's kind of old in the NHL. It's just extended adolescence. Like, that's like the guy said that to me. I was like, that makes sense. Cause you retire, I retired, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do now? And it's almost worse. No, it's not worse, but there is a part of it that when you have money, it can be worse, if that makes sense. Cause then you're like, oh, I don't need to do anything. And that leads to just shit. Like if you have no reason to like, I got to go get a job, I got to go figure out what's next. That's when you end up getting in kind of like
do some drugs or some shit, or like start boozing a bunch. Like you need routine.
100%. You need routine. And the hardest part for a lot of guys is from the time we were like 11, maybe a little older, 12, 13. Like, you were told what to do, when to do it, where to be every day of your life. Like, all season long, you have your schedule for the day, when you got to be at the rink, when you got to be at pregame skate, pregame meal. And then in the summers, it's like, all right, well, I train from 8 to 10:30. I'm going to skate from noon to 1. Like, it's just, it ends, and you're like, I don't have any idea what I'm supposed to do. I don't really have to do anything, which is even worse. And that's why, like, doing the podcast is just enormous for us, because we get to stay in the game. We get to stay around with buddies. We get to talk about the game we all love without the pressure of, say, if you're coaching or scouting, there's a lot of work that goes into that. And I'm not sitting here saying we don't work hard. I think we do, especially Biz. He's always grinding. But it's not like the pressure of, like, showing up with a game plan as a coach or making sure you're finding new prospects as a scout. It's like, it's just fun screwing around, talking hockey, kind of ripping on each other the exact same way we did it when we played, sitting in the locker room.
Do guys get into coaching and scouting just because they're like, I want to be with the team, or I want to be on the road, or I want to be doing, like, is that why some dudes do that, or is it?
I think it's, yes, definitely. And I think it's like, I don't know anything else. Like, that's what I'm talking about with unnamed. Like, it sounds kind of pathetic. I guess as a dad, it's not ideal, but, like, I know about hockey. Like, I don't know a ton about other stuff. So I think a lot of guys are like, I'm going to stay in this world that I know. I've been doing this my whole life. I don't really have a lot of other skills I could bring. Like, maybe there's some hockey guys who'd be really good in, like, sales, depending on what they're selling, because they're personable, they can talk, they can kind of sell something. But hockey's what you know, it's what you've lived, and you're like, I'm gonna stay in that. I can go on the road a little bit, because when I retired, I didn't have kids yet. I think guys who have kids who are on the road a lot, like, and even their wives would say, like, I don't want this guy around all the time. Like, he needs to be, like, on the road once a month or something. So that's part of it. And more, it's just what you know. And then what is cool is if you win as a player, or if you don't win, getting into that next side of coaching, or on the management side or the scouting side, it's like, I'm still looking to win, and I could help this team win a Stanley Cup in a way different way than I did when I was passing the puck or scoring goals.
Well, I think you're doing a good job of it, and I think that dudes who probably played, they probably look to you as an example and as, like, a nice oasis where they can go still kind of catch the vibe, like listening to your guy's show. Like, I'll listen to your show. I don't even follow hockey like that, and I'll listen just kind of for the vibes. And that's how I know Leafs 19-1. That's how.
Well, at Leafs, it's more if you're gonna get a bet in. I don't know, because the season started last night. Leafs, they haven't played yet till tonight. Leafs over 99.5 points on DraftKings. I think that's a lock. But the other thing, what were you just saying that reminded me of something about? So that's the best compliment that we ever get is from not only former pro hockey players, but guys who played hockey, like you said, in high school and then never played again. They say to us, like, I feel like I'm in the locker room again listening to you guys. Like, I'm like, that is if you tell us that, or you tell us, hey man, I got an hour and 10 minutes each way to work, and, like, when you guys have a show drop, like, that day, the commute, I don't even feel it. Like, that's, like, the biggest compliment we could ever have. If you're helping people kill time and you're helping former hockey players feel like they're just sitting around with their boys. Like, it's like even men's league now. Guys have beers after, they shoot the shit, and if they listen to our show and that gives them a similar feeling, that is the greatest thing that I could ever hear.
Yeah, I mean, I think that even within Barstool, a lot of people look to you guys. And, I mean, what you've been able to do with Pink Whitney. I know at Son of a Boy Dad, we're trying to get our version of Pink Whitney, and we're doing a White Russian mix. That is just a gallon of milk, but it will have our branding on it. That I promise you.
Just a gallon of milk with Son of a Boy Dad.
Yeah. So we're trying to be like you, and I just appreciate your time. So thank you for popping on, my bro. You are the
Anytime.
man.
I love this, Ron. This is great what you're doing. I've always said, most talented guy I've met there. We've probably got to hang out, I'd say, like 3 times. We had a couple nice dinners. We hung at the house in Survivor. I have a blast every time. So when you texted me, I was honored, buddy. Anytime you want, I'd come on, chop it up about anything. So as long as it's not Palestine and Israel.
You're safe, brother.
right.
I'll never spring that on you. You're the man. Continued success. And everybody go listen and subscribe to Spittin' Chicklets. It's hockey season, so the best time to be doing that. Enjoy, my bro.
Go Oilers. See you, buddy.
Salute. What a guy. What an absolute mensch. An absolute pleasure to be hanging with my guy. Fuck yeah. That's our show for today. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching. We're going to keep on moving towards live streaming, and we're going to keep on moving towards the October 30th date where we're going to be doing a 12-hour stream within the office.
No way, my brother.
No way, my brother.
One blood.
Long time no see, Rastafari.
Me don't know with him on down the mama the high come. Every time me look for you, I can't cry, baby. Moonshine, darling, take off the drag. Let me go to bed. One blood, one heart, one destination. Me don't know what me I do.
Watch Warm Ones tonight. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. So fun to be rocking with you guys. We'll be back next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that. Fuck with us, RoneDotCom.